Two. All right, so this is a very subjective workout. There aren't really any umbrella statements that apply to every person. This is a very well balanced workout that's programmed in such a way that you have to have strengths in both the total bar, double unders, and squat cleans. And we're going to get a little bit more subjective and talk about what you should do as a warm up and how you should mentally prepare for this workout based on which type of athlete you are.
Yep. So one thing to think about, obviously this is a high volume workout for toes to bar. So if you're an athlete that is restricted in this position, then make sure you definitely prepare for that. So you're going to spend a lot of time opening up, making sure you can reach full extension as you kip back, because that backward kip is going to really help transfer energy to bring the legs back up. So major things for warm up for most people is going to be reducing restriction here, and then also on the cleans, if you're one of those individuals that's fairly tight in that rack position, you're going to flare up your back at these heavier weights with your elbows down. So make sure that you're able to get really good rack position. You're going to spend a lot of time opening up through here to make sure that those rack positions are easy for you, because again, a lot of people don't think about this, but just because you're not doing a movement that's gymnastic with a clean, it's still going to affect your gymnastic movement on the next round, because you are spending a lot of time keeping that shoulder in position and so forth. All right, so what we did is we kind of talked through our various athlete types, and this is pretty generic, but you'll fit into one of these more so than another. So just kind of think about the way you are as an athlete, think about your strengths and weaknesses, and you'll find you should fit into one of these three categories. We could have made three others if we want to get more specific, but this is probably good enough. So generally, part A, or athlete type A, is your aerobic monster. So it's your person that they can just go go go. They can function pretty well with a high heart rate, but they generally are going to lack the ability to recover quickly on high effort or maximum effort lifts. So this is the type of athlete that they might be able to clean one of those higher weights, but their ability to recover quickly and do it again, that's going to be in question. Then your next type of athlete is your very high strength level athlete, which might be kind of a heavier, more muscular athlete that might lack the endurance at those, say 75 to 100 reps of toes to bar. So if you're getting into your third or fourth round and you're doing 75 to 100 toes to bar, that's where you're going to start to break down. Weights are probably going to be fine, but you're going to have issues with a lot of muscular endurance. And then your final type of lifter or athlete rather is your muscular endurance athlete. So they're fine with the volume, but they're probably going to lack some strength. So these are your lighter athletes. There's going to be a lot of the smaller women that can do a lot of toes to bar, but they're going to struggle with that strength portion. So those are kind of the three athlete types we broke this down to. And like Chip was saying, based on how or who you kind of feel like you are, your warm-up's going to be a little bit different, okay? So your aerobic type athlete is going to spend more time just getting the heart rate up, getting the blood flow, more of a generalized warm-up. You're going to do some stations at each of these movements and do like a few reps of each and just get that heart rate up. Start kind of very basic and then work more specific. So you can start with just some sit-ups, some box jumps to get that explosiveness, and then maybe a squat clean here or there. And then you're going to work to your toes to bar, your double unders, and things like that. Okay. Your strength athlete that's kind of lacking some of that muscular endurance, you actually want to get some lactate into the system. So you're going to do something that's going to develop lactate. So you're going to do a little bit of higher volume, maybe spend some more time on a rower, some time on the assault bike. You actually want to prime that lactate system, get some working through the body so that it's not so much of a shock. You're not going to see as much of a drop off. And then your muscular endurance athlete, they need to prime that CP battery. And what that means is they need to do some high intensity lifting. They need to feel what it's like to get explosive so that they're ready to go when they get to that portion of the workout. When they really need it in the rounds 2 and 3, when they're going to have to get pretty explosive, you want them to feel confident with those weights. All right.
All right, so quick review. What you should plan on doing as soon as you get to the gym is doing something aerobic for about 10 minutes. Okay, get your core body temperature up just like you would on any other workout. That could even be like line drills or calisthenics. Okay, and then you're gonna get into more mechanical movements and stretches. So Really open up your shoulders, open up your chest, make it so the toe to bar are as effortless as possible. Spend time working on your clean position, just like Eric said, and your squat depth, okay? Then you're gonna move into movement specific warm-ups. So, and that's where you need to know what type of athlete you are. So again, what Eric was saying is if you're an aerobic athlete, but you lack the ability to pick up medium heavy weights over and over, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna prime your heart rate with comparable weights. If you're a strength athlete who lacks the muscular endurance, so you're going to prime lactate. So you're going to start to build up a little bit of a muscular burn. That way, when you actually begin the workout, your body doesn't freak out, but it's already used to that, okay? And if you're a muscular endurance athlete, you're going to prime the CP battery by lifting medium heavy weights repeatedly so you can kind of get used to recovering and lifting those heavy weights when you're tired. And that would also fall into the category of if you're someone who wants to get to that second weight or that third weight and you don't know if you can for sure lift it when you're tired, then that would be you, and definitely warm up and try to work up close to that weight to build some confidence, okay?
Don't necessarily hit it, leave that in the tank, but get close to it.
Right. As far as specific movements go, toe to bar. We've been doing a lot of toe to bar for the last 6 months or so. If you're on the comp team, you've been doing 100 for a while. If you're in the classes, you've been doing about 75 or so per week. So everyone is set up for success as far as the volume goes. So you should be confident as far as that goes. As far as technique goes on toe to bar, you want to keep the lever as short as possible. So what that means is if you're a gymnast and you've got a background of doing the pike toe to bar, you want to work on changing that, okay? If you can get your knees high and then kick last second, it's going to shorten that lever from your hip to your foot, and it's going to save a lot of energy, especially over the course of a lot of toe to bar, okay? If you're used to doing them in weightlifting shoes, congratulations, you set yourself up for success here because you can do them in weightlifting shoes, and then that will help you on the squat cleans also. If you're not someone who's been doing them with weightlifting shoes, don't try changing that today because it can either help you with momentum, but more likely will hurt you because it's more weighted than a normal shoe, okay? Double unders. This is also very subjective. If you're good at double unders, you know it. Do 50. If you're someone who starts to fall apart, listen to your body. Take a 10-second break when you need it. That might mean 25-25. That might mean 30-20. The main thing that you can't do is fall apart here. So especially if you're in your first or second round, breathe, relax, take a break if you need it so that you don't fall apart later.
Yeah, most people, they'll try to catch up. They'll feel like they're behind, so then they try to catch up by going a little too fast. The name of the game is stick to your double under pace the entire time, no matter where you're at. Don't try to restart another set quickly and then go faster than your normal cycle rate. You'll most likely just trip up after 3 or 4 reps. Just get back to your normal cycle rate, take it nice and slow and steady. It's better to go on double unders at this pace and just maintain it, then try to go too quickly and fall apart.
Nice and easy. It's active recovery. A quick technique review. You want to be standing tall, shoulders back, so you can open up that thoracic cavity, so you can breathe more, get more air in your lungs. Keeping your elbows back and the wrist low. It's a wrist and ankle movement. Okay, really focus on using those wrists. Squat clean. Keep a belt handy. For sure, keep a belt handy. Use it whenever you think you need to use it. For sure, you're going to need it for the last weight or two, and it might even save your midline a little bit if you use it on the first round or two. As far as eccentric loading, what that means is when the muscles are lengthening or when you're descending with gravity, you want to limit that because it tears up the muscles and it diminishes your endurance. So what that means in practical terms is don't pull the first weight as high as you can and then squat it all the way down. Okay, still be explosive, pop your hip, use a little bit of ankle extension, but you want to catch it low. Okay, stand it all the way up, drop it, catch it as low as possible instead of getting as tall as you can and then slowly doing a front squat. Okay. However, if you're someone who needs to do a power clean and then a front squat, that's totally fine. It's just going to be a little bit more tiring.